Hello everyone, it's Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Now today, I'm playing Control's Pirate Rogue. That's the deck you can see on the left hand side. A few days ago I played KilleRacoon's Tempo Pirate Rogue. That's the deck you can see on the right hand side of your screen. Now the KilleRacoon deck is a slightly slower deck. Its most expensive card costs 8 mana, Captain Hooktusk, which I really enjoyed playing. And it has a slightly more controlling aspect to it. You know, you have Varspine Slayer, for example. There's a big focus on rushing your minions into your opponent's minions. So, controlling aspect to things before you eventually kill your opponent with Leroy Jenkins and Shadow Step and Dr. Boom. Compare that to the Control deck on the left, which is a much faster deck. Essentially, there are two aspects to this deck. You play Kingsbane, buff up Kingsbane, keep hitting the face with Kingsbane. Redraw Kingsbane, keep hitting the face with Kingsbane. And the second aspect is Ship's Cannon and cheap pirates. And that's how you win games with Control's Pirate Rogue. So yes, a much faster deck. Most expensive card costs 5, Captain Greenskin and Myra's Unstable Element. Now, the Control deck plays Kingsbane, as I mentioned, and those of you that have followed my videos know that I hated Kingsbane Rogue in its previous incarnation because of Leeching Poison. But now that Leeching Poison has been nerfed and no one's playing it, Kingsbane as a card, as a weapon, feels reasonable now. It doesn't feel disgustingly overpowered because of Leeching Poison. It feels reasonable. So we're going to give Control's deck a try. Remember, Rogue is my least played class, but because there are pirates in it, I'm interested. So let's have a look at our first game. And it's against a priest. Now, priests at this rank tend to be big priest. Very occasionally you see a little bit of dragon priest, but no, that's not too popular now. It is big priest all the way. And I'm not terribly confident with the mulligans for this deck at the moment. I haven't played many games with it, but one thing I do know is you need to draw Kingsbane quite quickly. You do not want Kingsbane sitting at the bottom of your deck. So there are two ways to get Kingsbane. There's the Shiny Finder and there's Raiding Party. Now I played the Buccaneer here, thinking that he's not going to be able to deal with it. That it's going to stay alive, and then I'll play Raiding Party, I'll draw Kingsbane, and everything will be right in the world. So prep Raiding Party is so incredibly strong, because look, we've just drawn a load of pirates, and we've drawn Kingsbane. That's incredible. And with double Buccaneer on the board. The pressure is on. He needs a response to this. So, with 3 mana here, I guess the ideal response, yes, would be Spirit Lash, which he got from Shadow Visions. Important to note that. But we're just keeping the pressure up here.
Justice is mine.
And this deck is hyper aggressive. It really is. We keep whacking the face with the Kingsbane. This is not a style of play that I'm used to. So it is going to take some getting used to. Now, looking at our hand at next turn, we have Tinker's Oil. So we can coin Tinker's Oil to get the combo effect going. Alternatively, we can coin Greenskin. And the reason we're doing this is to buff up Kingsbane, firstly, get more attack, but also to get that extra weapon charge. I don't have the second Raiding Party, I don't have Shiny Finder in hand, so I need to keep this Kingsbane pressure going for as long as possible before it gets shuffled back into my deck. So there's Doomerang, and I think in order again to keep the pressure going with Kingsbane, I'm going to have to kill one of my own minions here. There's no target from his side of the board, so I have to kill my own minion. We say goodbye to the haha, to the deckhand, and just keep pushing pressure, pushing damage. I'm keeping that deckhand in hand to combo with the Tinker's Oil. And that's just lethal, and I'm feeling really sorry for him here. This big priest didn't get to do anything at all. Didn't get to summon any minions or resurrect any minions. Feels amazing. Okay, this next game, we've got the raiding party in hand. Makes me happy. But of course, it's an Even Shaman. So Big Priest, Even Shaman, those are your two, I guess your two top tier 1 meta decks in Wild. So we beat the Big Priest. Can we beat this other tier 1 meta deck? And by the way, every shaman I've faced with this deck has always had Maelstrom Portal, either on turn 2 or on turn 1 with the coin, and just destroyed any 1 health pirates that I've played. It's just been so frustrating. So frustrating. And you sort of think, you know, when they can do that, it disrupts your aggro, it disrupts your tempo, it disrupts everything. And then it gives them a chance to get back into the game. But yeah, they've always had it when they need it.
Justice is mine.
And now I've slowed down a lot. Compare this to the previous game against the Big Priest, where the pressure was just on constantly. You know, Kingsbane hitting the face constantly, not having to hit minions, constantly buffing up Kingsbane, replaying it. We don't have that same pressure here. So I'm using Doomerang on a 0-2 taunt. And I'm not attacking here. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to buff it up with my pirates. Wow, Hex on a 3/3. Interesting. So not entirely sure if that Doomerang was correct there. But as I say, it was an opportunity to get Kingsbane back into my hand and then back into play again. And there was also a Taunt Totem. You know, we like getting rid of Taunt Totems because Taunt Totems stop us from going face, and this deck is all about going face wherever you can.
Justice is mine.
And having said that, I've just made 2 big trades. Deciding to keep the board clear in this instance. Spell Power Totem is not something that I want left alive. A 1/1 totem? That's not so bad. But Spell Power Totems, they're problematic.
Justice is mine.
And again, using the Kingsbane to trade, kill his minions off, but preserving what I have on board. And eventually we will be in a position where we can go face with the Kingsbane. But yeah, I'm keen not to leave certain things up on his board. We have to be fearful of Flame Tongue Totem coming down, him going face, and then him crackling my face with spells. Yeah, we can just die. We can die very, very quickly to burst from his hand. And so we have to be very conscious of that against Even Shaman, it's a bit of a balancing act between the trading and the going face. Good to see that he's trading though. Ah, there's a taunt totem. Damn it. We have a lot of mana to play with here, and we can play out our hand. Question is, what are we sapping? So here's the question. Are we just sapping that taunt totem?
No, take shiny.
If we attack the shiny finder in, it survives. It doesn't die, because that taunt totem has no attack. So actually, maybe that makes sense. With no lethal here.
Justice is mine.
And I'm actually going to kill the minion with my face, just to preserve my board.
Quickly.
Buff the weapon. Buff the weapon again. Okay. I'm being quite disrespectful here to the Kingsbane weapon. I'm using it on minions rather than on face. Wow, look at him go. And that crackle rolls for 3. That's so unlucky. But now I think I'm in a safe enough position where I just push the face damage. It's not lethal, but it's close enough. So even if he replays the Fire Elemental, rolls a Taunt Totem, we'd still have 1 minion left on board. We're scared of Maelstrom Portal here, I guess, and a Taunt Totem. That's not a Taunt Totem. And that's game over. So we got there in the end, making some rather convoluted trades with the Kingsbane weapon, but we got there. Okay, this next game, it's against a Warlock, and this is either going to be a Reno lock or a cube lock. I've been seeing more cube locks recently on Wild. It's interesting, been a bit of a resurgence. I like keeping ship's cannon because I assume that I'm going to draw into some cheap pirates at some point. I have raiding party. But no 1-drop pirate to play early, which is unfortunate. So I think it's time that we draw some pirates. Okay, not that pirate. We don't want patches. But actually, it's not too bad. With this deck, you're not punished as much when you get patches because you have the ship's cannon. So you can combo the two, and it's reasonable. But yeah, Deathlord comes down. Therefore, can we assume it's Reno lock?
Justice is mine.
But not having too much difficulty there, getting through the Deathlord.
From the void I come. No quarter.
So we see what we get here. Ah, that's alright. 3/3 taunt. I'll take that.
Justice is mine.
And just push more damage to the face. I'm going to refrain from playing the ship's cannon here. I'm afraid of AoE. I'm afraid of Defile. There are lots of things I'm afraid of here. Wow, that's a Mal'Ganis. So, that looks somewhat problematic. We're not going to have too many issues breaking through Mal'Ganis. Just want to see where these shots land. Just thinking of the ordering here and what's relevant. Thinking about whether I really want to face tank that. I guess I have to. I mean, 5 damage into 5 health there kind of makes sense, right? We've seen 1 Hellfire. Does he have the 2nd Hellfire? That's the question. No, he doesn't. We're safe from Defile here. There is no 2 health minion on the board.
No shinies.
Thinking about the Buccaneer here, I guess we just play it. Okay, it's 3 damage. Just play the other one. That goes face. And just make the trades. And push face again. Okay, down to 13. So again, Defile doesn't completely clear the board here.
Unleash me.
That's pretty good for him. He's hanging on here. He's really hanging on. But there's a prep. There's a Tinker's Oil. And just like that, it's game over. Wow. And there's rank 3. Alright. Sometimes you draw patches, and it's just a bit unfortunate, right? When you draw patches, you play patches without the ship's cannon. The rat brings out the ship's cannon, so you sort of celebrate a little. But then he plays a bloody Doomsayer. You draw your 2nd cannon, but there's not really much you can do. You don't have Kingsbane, so you have this deadly poison, but there's no Kingsbane to go with it. So losing a cannon feels really, really bad, particularly when it hasn't fired or done any damage. And then you see Kazakus and you're like, yeah, we're not winning this game. This is a Reno Mage. And when they have Reno, not only do they have Reno, they Zola their Reno. And remember, we're supposed to be a deck that specialises in doing damage and hitting their face, right? We're not going to be able to kill them at this rate. But we try, and oh, explosive runes. And then counter spell. It's just one bit of misfortune after another, just constantly hitting me. It's, oh dear. So yeah, Reno Mage. Just hope you don't come across Reno Mage, and you'll be fine. So, controls Pirate Rogue. Really, really fun deck. Just very, very strong in terms of putting on that really substantial early pressure. And in some ways, it's better than the KilleRacoon deck because you're giving them less of a chance to recover with that early pressure. So, for instance, if you can kill them by turn 6, maybe they don't have Reno in hand, and so they can't heal up. With the Raccoon deck, if you're waiting till turn 8, turn 9, turn 10, because it's a slightly slower deck, or maybe that gives them that opportunity, that chance to draw into something like Reno to help them recover. So there is sort of a logic behind playing a faster deck, a faster aggressive deck, in the hopes that your opponent doesn't draw into the tools that they need to be able to recover, if that makes any sense. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're into aggressive pirate decks, give the control deck a try. If you're into having a little bit more fun with some of the more new cards from the Rastakhan Rumble expansion, give the KilleRacoon deck a try. And in terms of the KilleRacoon deck, I've received messages from various people who have been trying out different things with the deck. Some people have taken out Grifter and put in other cards that they feel are sort of more appropriate for the deck. People have talked about putting Lotheb in. People have talked about Faldori Strider, is that how you pronounce it? The card that summons the spiders, basically. So yes, people have been trying out different things and saying that it's been working well. So yeah, thanks for joining me everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all again very soon for more Wild Mode fun.